Hi everyone! The fable I chose is called The Two Goats. Just going to give you a quick rundown of what it's about so you know what I'm talking about. The story is actually a fateful one of two stubborn goats unwilling to compromise. There was a narrow bridge built over a river, and one day one of the goats was trying to cross over this bridge. While crossing this bridge, he notices that there is another goat trying to cross from the opposite end. The bridge was so narrow that only one of the goats would ever be able to cross the bridge at a time. Neither of the goats would turn back. One goat actually says to the other, "You should go back because I'm stronger than you." The other goat denies this, saying that he was the stronger one. Both of them holding their ground, that they were the strongest, and neither of them would turn back. They put down their horns to fight to show that they were the strongest, and they actually fought until they both lost their balance and fall into the river. The river current takes them away into the deep water, and both of them drowned. My interpretation of this fable is that when you are unwilling to compromise, it will lead to a dead end. Ha ha. Anyways, there are many situations in this world where people have to be willing to compromise. David Bedrick is a counselor and author that I found. He wrote the book Talking Back to Dr. Phil. And with Dr. Phil and many other psychologists, they actually believe that compromise is the key to resolving relationship conflict and essential to building sustainable relationships. I see compromise as a win-win situation. If both parties can bend just a little bit, then we can meet in the middle to give each party a little of what they need. For example, let's say that you are meeting a friend of yours that lives an hour away. She wants you to come to her house, but you want her to come to your house. Instead, she throws out the option of maybe meeting at a restaurant that is a half hour away from both houses. You agree to this, having no real reasoning to why you can't go anywhere. You just didn't want to be in the car for an hour or drive that far. So here, both parties have compromised. You still get to see each other and have met halfway. It's a win-win situation. Politics are another situation where compromise is such a bad word. Geoff Nunberg, author of Talking Dangerously, says that sometimes people even avoid saying the word. We have a lot of protests going on, and even people that don't like our current situations with the president. As voters, we want leaders that are adaptable, but detest those who don't stick to their guns. It seems that politicians from different parties seem unable or totally unwilling to compromise, and many people don't like that. Most people want others to be on the same page that they are. They view their opinions to be correct and any other opinions to be wrong. It's kind of a tricky situation. We need to be able to open our minds to be able to compromise and come to a mutual agreement. Otherwise, we get nowhere. We're kind of up creek without a paddle, like our little goat friends here. Lastly, an example I'm sure we've all been in before is compromising in relationships. I believe that communication is a huge part of any relationship, but you must also be willing to hear your partner's side while explaining your side and meeting in the middle. When two lives merge into one, you get a ton of new ideas and opinions. I believe that both of you need to give something up, not just one of you. Meaning, before you ask your partner to give up something, you must be prepared to bring something to the table yourself. This shows balance. It shows a sense of fairness and a willingness to compromise yourself, instead of just asking for compromise. When one person is giving their all and the other is taking all, you end up losing yourself, and the end product will not be something that will make both parties happy. And that's what compromise is all about. I do want to be clear, though, that there's a difference between compromise and sacrifice. Compromises require the work of both parties, while sacrifice means disproportional giving on one's part. So, in conclusion, if one of the goats would have turned back and just waited a couple minutes longer, both goats would have been able to cross the bridge, which is what they both wanted in the first place. You have to be willing to give little to get to your main goal when there is more than one party involved.